Hey folks, Jim Leila here for episode 206 of Geeking Out.
Yes.
We got a lot of people
comments
and everything, and hate mail and, and death threats and various other things for our review of Batman last week. But we warned you! Anyway, this week it's a bit of a shorter episode with only 6 comic book reviews, and let's get to it with the First XMen.
Yes, this is the First XMen. It's kind of like an origin thing. You'll see. It's
Oh yes, yeah. Because we really need another origin story.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, it's kind of different. It's before Xavier's X-Men.
Okay.
So in this one, Logan is asked by an old war buddy to check in on his missing son, who he believes has Logan's particular problem. When Logan finds him, the boy explodes on him. Literally. And a government agency is quick to cover it up.
Happy family reunion.
Yes. So Logan calls his friend Creed to investigate the matter further, and they uncover a group that's actually hunting mutants. Can Wolverine and Sabretooth get to these targets in time, and what then? So I like this. I mean, it kind of has the feel of that X-Men First Class movie, that kind of thing, like really early in the whole X-Team deal. And as you can see from the cover, it's a really weird and interesting group to start with. So I thought this was pretty good. I didn't particularly love the art, but it was okay. People are gonna be like, really? Seriously? You don't like Neil Adams? But I just didn't really like it that much in this one.
Not everyone likes Neil Adams' style.
I don't know. I particularly didn't like Wolverine.
Okay.
I think that was probably my problem. Everybody else was pretty cool, but I just didn't like that. And some of the inking, I think, kind of did it in a bit. But that's just me. But overall, this is a pretty interesting, X-Men story. If you want to know, read something else about the beginning of the whole X-Team, not the one that you're familiar with, but a new one, then this is the book for you.
Alright, next up we have Howard Chaykin's Black Kiss 2. Alright.
How long ago did Black Kiss 1 come out?
1989.
So this is a while.
Yeah, so it's about 20 plus years since the last one came out. Here's the thing about this one. You don't need to have read the first one to get into the story.
Well, that's good then.
So there is that. But, and this is a big one, this is rated mature. It really should not be rated mature. It should be adults only.
Really?
The amount of sex and, body parts that are shown, tentacle cocks, more cocks, vaginas. I mean, there's a lot of cocks in this book.
Yes.
This should be adults only.
Although it wouldn't have made it here to Canada if it
hadn't.
So there you go.
But there you go. But honestly, this really should be rated adults only. But as for the story, basically it's an anthology series, and the first story, in New York in 1906, an audience reacts to a film they are watching at the local Nickelodeon, and then things go to hell. Literally.
Interesting.
Tentacle cocks everywhere.
Gotcha.
Well, in in the second story, in 1912, we follow a tale of sex, class struggle, and hopes and dreams aboard the doomed ocean liner Titanic.
Interesting. Okay.
And more demon tentacle cocks. But, oh boy. Okay, here's the thing about Howard Chaykin.
Yeah.
He's a great writer. He's a great artist. I'm not going to badmouth him for this. What I am going to badmouth is the rating on this book.
Yeah.
This is an adults-only book.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. This should not be on the shelf with the other books.
Yeah.
And honestly, this should come in a baggie.
Yeah.
Because, wow, I have seen less sex in stuff like Omaha the Can't Dancer and stuff, and quite frankly, this is much worse.
Yeah.
And as someone who does adult comics and writes and draws them for a living,
you're like, wow, they got away with that.
They got away with it. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's an interesting story with not really much to it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's sort of the genre.
Yeah, so really there's not much substance here, but Howard Chaykin's art is simply gorgeous. And other than that, I can't recommend it highly other than for the art, but quite honestly, yeah, this needs to be rated adults only. If you own a store or are at a store and you see it, please tell your shopkeep to put it in a baggie so kids don't look into it.
Accidentally.
Yeah. That's just my thought, but honestly, I think it should be definitely kept away from the eyes of the children.
Okay, next up, another book from Image. This is Harvest, #1. So in this one, Benjamin Dane is a doctor, or he was, before he went into a surgery completely high, and a mother of two kids...
joy!
Yeah, and a mother of 2 kids dies on his table. So now he's been approached for a job. His bosses need a new doctor to participate in their... Wait! Their black market organ scheme. Since they had to kill the last doctor who was helping them out.
Oh, boy.
But can Ben get it together long enough to even hear their offer? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Yeah, really. I could almost say, like, this is rated mature, and I mean, definitely the appropriate rating.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of very dark. If you're cool with that, then you might like this. But for me, I was like, yeah, drugs and doctors and black market organ things.
Generally don't mix very well.
I just didn't, it wasn't a subject matter that I was really interested in. And then apparently in like the next issue, one of the kids from the family, the mother that dies on his table or whatever, is going to become like sort of involved in his life going forward. And I was like, what? I don't know.
Zombie.
Yeah, it just seems really weird to me. This isn't, one of the new direction books for Image that I really enjoyed. But I guess if you're into something really dark like this, then, this is for you. But definitely for mature readers, for sure. And they should probably put that label on the front instead of, like, in really, really small print on the back.
Yeah, that's one of the major problems with Image, is that they don't label their stuff the right way.
I don't know. On the front would have been cool for me. But anyways.
Next up, we have Soulfire, Volume 4, #1. This one's written by J.T. Kroll with art by Mike DiBalfo.
Okay.
And in this one, the balance of magic has been restored to the world, but there are still signs of a coming chaos as darkness overtakes grace, putting the world in jeopardy. Mm-hmm. Okay. You need to have read the last 3 volumes to get where this book is going.
Oh, really?
Quite honestly. And quite honestly, I don't see why Aspen hasn't done just the series as an ongoing series.
Instead of all these little minis?
Yeah, it's rather silly and kind of dumb to me. Mm-hmm. If you're continuing a story, just continue it. Keep going. I mean, overall, great art as always. Aspen always delivers on the art. This new artist is very Mike-ish.
Yeah, they're always trying to emulate Michael Turner, especially in this series.
But here's the weird thing. He drew drew the cover.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm like, from the grave.
Well, that's probably just
no disrespect
reused image or something.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that before. Somewhere.
Probably. Yeah. But no disrespect meant to the great Michael Turner there. But yeah, he still seems to have a lot of covers that he never got released. But as always, really nice art from Aspen here. Story-wise, unless you've read the last 3 books, you're gonna get lost and you're not gonna understand what's going on.
But you're probably, if you're a Soulfire fan, you're the one buying this.
Oh yeah, if you're a Soulfire fan, this is well worth your time, and it's got some interesting character dynamics changes as the book goes on. So I enjoyed it. The art's nice. And the story's okay if you've read the last 3 series. Mm-hmm. So if you're a fan of Soulfire, pick this one up. If not, then pick the rest of the series up before trying to get into this one, because otherwise you'll be just confused.
Okay, last for me, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe #1.
Hooray!
Yes. So in this one, Watcher relates a tale of how in one world, or sort of one reality, Psycho Man tried to create an army of supervillains willing to do his bidding, but in the process awakened a killer unlike any other Deadpool.
Yay!
Now this world will bleed. Okay, so it was interesting, and I guess it's kind of funny when you see Deadpool's head get completely shot off and then he regrows it. Woo! I guess we're not following the current continuity.
No. Nope.
Still got that healing factor. Anyways, but I didn't like the art. In a major way, I didn't like it, and a story about just killing Marvel's heroes for apparently no particular reason.
We've done that before with Punisher kills the Marvel Universe.
Exactly.
I mean, it's been done, and why do it again? I mean...
Yeah, and it just really kind of... I was almost beneath Deadpool in a way, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds pretty much beneath him. I mean, he likes to have fun and everything, and
yeah, he's a mercenary
and
for hire,
he's definitely a guy who kills people, but I don't think he'd go... Yeah, I'm just gonna kill everyone in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. Now, there is a very touching scene in this where Sue is holding, like, a dying Reed Richards, and his face is all, like, melting and stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, that is really cool. That was touching. It was interesting. But generally, I can't recommend this book, really. I mean, I guess if you're a Deadpool fan, you might like it.
I guess if you're a hardcore Deadpool fan, then you're probably going to enjoy it.
But other than that, I really... can't say that you're gonna love this. I just didn't really like it, which is weird because I like Deadpool too, but it's not even that good for me. And I actually like where they're going in the current Deadpool series with him not having his healing factor and having to face all of that. It just is more interesting. So to take a step backwards for this one for the sake of a little mini series was just like, I don't know. Yeah,
kind of meh. Alright, and last for me this week is Think Tank number 1. And in this one, Dr. David Lauren is the smartest scientist in the military think tank. And when David decides he can no longer stomach creating weapons, will he be able to think his way out of his situation?
Ooh.
So yeah, basically, he's the military's smartest scientist, coming up with all the weapons and everything that the military uses to kill people.
Mm-hmm. So he's like the pretender?
Kind of, but he doesn't like creating the weapons and everything. Mm-hmm. So he's purposefully making sure that they fail.
Nice.
And he's trying to find a way out of the military. Mm-hmm. So he creates a machine that reads people's thoughts.
That doesn't sound like a good idea, though.
Well, it's okay if you want to get with a woman or anything. I mean, it's like, he's ugly. I don't like him. He's cute. Well, you're the one I want to go on.
I guess.
Yeah. So, this is actually a really interesting book. And they really go into just how smart this guy is.
That's cool.
So you get to know who this character is. I like that. Mm-hmm. And really surprising, this is a Top Cow / Image book, and it's in black and white.
Oh.
And it works. And it really works here. Mm-hmm. So I quite enjoyed this one. And as the tagline says, the book will make you smarter.
Yes,
so,
there you go.
I liked it. Really interesting characters. Mm-hmm. Really interesting story. Really good art. Yeah. This is one of the best on the shelf this week, and I quite enjoyed it. So if you get a chance, check this one out. It's a lot of fun. Alright, so that brings us to the close of our 206th episode. Yes. We will see you next week.